All right, let's dive into a classic, super aggressive chess opening that has been absolutely terrorizing opponents for nearly 200 years. Get ready to learn the Evans Gambit. This is going to be your new secret weapon for scoring some quick, crushing wins.
So, are you tired of those slow, quiet positional games? Do you want to just grab the game by the throat from move one and put your opponent under immediate, intense pressure? If the answer is yes, then the Evans Gambit is exactly what you've been looking for. Let's see how it works.
Okay, so here is how it kicks off. We start with the most common moves you'll ever see: e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4, bishop c5. You know, the good old Italian game. Everything looks totally calm, totally normal. But then, bam! On move 4, white plays the shocking move, b4. We are just giving away a pawn, but this isn't a blunder, not at all. It's a gambit, and it's designed to blow the game wide open.
So here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll get the core idea behind the gambit. Then, we'll look at what to do when your opponent accepts or declines it. After that, we'll see how to punish the most common mistakes people make. Then, we'll level up and see how to face the toughest pro-level responses. And finally, we'll see it all in action in a game between two absolute legends. So, why on earth are we giving up a pawn on move 4? Let's break down the master plan. It's all about three things: speed, space, and a relentless attack. So here's the game plan, step by step. Step 1, we sacrifice that b-pawn. The whole point is to lure black's bishop away. Step 2, we play c3. This is huge because it prepares to kick their bishop again, and it supports our next big move. Step 3, we ram forward with d4, just storming the center of the board. And that sets up step 4, unleashing our queen to b3. Which leads us to the grand finale, step 5, creating this nasty battery with our bishop, both pieces staring a hole through black's weakest point, that f7 square. So how do people actually respond to this? Well, take a look at this. The vast majority of players, a whopping 73%, they accept the gambit. They take the pawn. Only about 15% decline it. And this is super important because it tells us exactly where to focus our energy. We've got to know the gambit accepted lines inside and out.
So let's start with that small 15% slice. What happens when your opponent is a little cautious and they say, no thanks, usually by dropping their bishop back to b6? Well, we have a very, very clear plan for that.
If they decline, we don't just go back to a normal, boring game. Oh no. We launch our own attack, a pawn storm, kicking it off with the move a4. Our whole goal here is to get a massive space advantage on the queen side, cramp their pieces, and create a whole new set of problems for them.
Now here's a key line you need to know. If they challenge us with a5, we just push right past with b5, kicking their knight away. Now, they might be tempted to jump that knight into d4, and it looks like a juicy free pawn, but listen close. Do not take that pawn. It's a complete trap. Instead, we just trade knights, play our thematic c3 move, and we continue with a huge space advantage, and all our attacking ideas are still on the table.
All right, let's get to the main event, the Evans Gambit accepted. This is what you're going to see most of the time. And believe me, this is where the real fun begins, especially against club players, who often make some really big mistakes.
Okay, so after black takes our b-pawn, their bishop has to move again. A super common move you'll see is they just retreat it back to c5. We respond with our main plan, push d4 and take the center. They'll almost always take that pawn. Now your gut instinct might be to take back right away, but we play a much stronger move. We just castle. We prioritize getting our king safe and our pieces into the game. The material can wait.
And this is where the gambit's power really shines. If they get greedy, if their bishop snatches our c-pawn, we unleash a devastating, almost automatic attack. Bishop takes f7 with check. After the king takes, our queen comes in with another check. We win the piece right back, and their king is just stuck in the middle of the board. It is pretty much game over right there.
But what happens when you face someone a little stronger? Someone who knows the theory. They're not going to fall for those simple traps. They'll retreat their bishop to one of two main squares, either a5 or e7. Let's look at how to handle these professional-level responses.
Bishop a5 is the top choice of chess engines. It's what the grandmasters play. Our plan stays consistent. We take the center with d4. After they capture, we play queen to b3. Now here's the really important part. Because their bishop is way over on a5, that typical defensive trick for black, knight to a5 forking our queen and bishop, it's impossible. We get our perfect attacking setup completely for free.
The other main line is bishop e7. This is known as a very solid, very safe defense. Our plan is the same. We play d4, then queen to b3. But
With their bishop on e7, the a5 square is now free for black's knight. And here it comes, knight to a5, forking our queen and our powerful bishop.
Okay, this is the critical moment. Panic starts to set in. It looks like we're just losing a piece and our whole attack is falling apart. But if you remember one thing, just one thing from this whole explainer, make it what comes next.
First, do not panic. Second, we completely ignore the threat to our bishop and we play queen takes f7 check. Black is forced to play king to f8. And now the star move, the one you have to burn into your memory, queen to a4. Literally every other move loses on the spot, but this one keeps our advantage alive.
So what's the big idea? After queen a4, black's knight takes our bishop. We are giving up our best attacking piece, but look at what we get for it. We force their king out into the open on f7. It's a brilliant positional trade. We've permanently destroyed their king safety, which means for the rest of the game, that king is going to be a constant weakness, a target they always have to worry about.
Now, don't just take my word for it. Let's see how the best players in the world handle this opening. We're going to look at a 2024 Rapid game between two world champions, Vishy Anand and Magnus Carlsen.
So Magnus has the white pieces, he plays the Evans Gambit, Anand accepts, and responds with the Grandmaster favorite bishop a5. Just like we talked about, Magnus follows the plan, he castles, plays d4, and then unleashes that thematic queen to b3, putting immediate pressure on that weak f7 pawn.
The pressure's building. Anand tries to create some counterplay with queen c5, setting up his own battery. But under the pressure of the Evans Gambit, even a legend like Anand makes a mistake. The engine calls this move a straight-up blunder. And Magnus pounces. He finds this brilliant tactic. Rook takes b6. This is a classic removal of the defender idea. After Anand recaptures, a whole cascade of winning moves follows for Carlsen. And just a few moves later, Anand resigned. It just proves this gambit is deadly, even at the very highest level.
So, let's sum it all up. We sacrifice the b-pawn to get rapid development and control of the center. Our queen's favorite square is almost always b3, so it can target f7. We are constantly looking for attacks on that square. And if you face that scary knight a5 fork, you know the magic sequence. Queen takes f7 check, then queen a4. And finally, never be afraid to play this opening because as we just saw, even the best in the world can be crushed by its pressure.
The Evans Gambit is an incredibly powerful weapon that rewards brave, tactical players. You now have the core plans, you know the key traps, and you've got the critical defensive ideas. So really, the only question left is, who are you going to try it on first?